Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Names of Our Universe. This is Kirk, your personality expert. I hope everyone had an awesome weekend. Today we have a very special show. This is going to be the first time we ever do a personality breakdown. And we have a very special guest, Brittany Mason, guys. This is a professional model based out of Los Angeles. I'm super stoked today because she's never taken one personality test, if you can believe it. So she's a bit of a skeptic. Stay tuned. You won't believe what you're about to find out. Welcome back, everybody. This is Brittany Mason, a professional model based out of Los Angeles for the last 5 years. I'm curious, Brittany, tell us, what is your experience in the modeling industry?
Hi, my name is Brittany Mason, and I'm a Los Angeles-based model. I'm 23 years old, and you can follow me on Instagram at Brittany S. Mason. One thing I like about being a model is the opportunity to meet new people and to network and travel.
Wow. Brittany, you've never taken one personality test.
No.
So you're a true skeptic.
Of course.
When people talk about what's your astrological sign, you said that's freaking bunk. That's like, that is basically...
I hate it.
Okay, I get it. It's pretty general, it's pretty vague. That's why I do what I do. That's why we have Names of Our Universe, folks. We are going to figure out your personality through Myers-Briggs and Enneagram, which are legit, and then I will tell you what astrological sign you fit. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's get pumped. Come on. This is a special opportunity because we're actually getting a first-hand look at my process of 3,500 people that I've given this test to, what we do. We're starting with extrovert or introvert. I know you've at least heard of those things, okay? So, we have engineers, teachers, now we have a model, okay? And I'm willing to bet that models tend to have a certain personality type too, in general, like 80% of the time. Ready?
Yes.
Think about how you've been most of your life, okay?
Okay.
Extrovert, sociable, outgoing. They need to be around other people. Get a little stir crazy when they're alone for too long. Natural networker, plugged into the world around them to get their energy. Or would you say you're more introvert? You need time to themselves, a bit more reflective, reserved, can still be friendly and outgoing with those they know, but in general, kind of slower to spread the net socially. More focused on their inner world thoughts and feelings to get their energy. Most of your life, first or second, more extrovert or introvert? Would you be able to say?
Okay, prior to becoming a model, I was very introverted.
Okay.
And shy to talk to people and stuff like
Right.
that. But now...
This is perfect, guys, because shy does not always indicate introvert. You could be a shy extrovert, because sometimes confidence is a big thing. You can have a confident introvert, okay? But sometimes extroverts, it takes them a little longer. You might be an extrovert who got out of that basic shell because of the modeling. That's a great thing. So we're going to discover, where do you get your energy, okay? You could be a shy extrovert, meaning you still want to be around other people. That fuels you. If you're at home for 3 days by yourself, you're going to get stir crazy, whether you're shy or not.
Oh, no, I'm fine with that.
You're fine with that. You like that time to yourself.
Yeah.
So you would say by nature, even as a little kid, you love that time to yourself. Like that's how you recharge. Is that right?
It's just fun.
It's just fun. Okay, cool. That makes sense from an introverted perspective. That does. I'm excited because you know what? A lot of people might assume, hey, actor, model, extrovert. Not always the case.
Well, I work well with being in environments with tons of people and talking to people. I love meeting new people.
Right.
Most times when I'm on set for a job, I'm always talking to everybody, socializing with everybody. But I do like my alone time. Okay.
So let's give this I'm going to move back to the extrovert or introvert. We're going to come back to that after I have some other things in place. I myself, I've said before, extrovert, introvert, I'm pretty much ambiverted. So I get that. Okay. We're going to go back to that. Let's figure out, that's the attitude towards the world, extrovert or introvert. Now we're going to take perception, the way we use our senses, our perceptions, the process of that to learn, essentially. So we're going to find out whether you're intuitive or sensate. We're all both, but which is your preference? Intuitives, outside the box thinker, they see the big picture, they fill in the details later. They're comfortable with the abstract, theoretical, they might use their imagination to come to conclusions at times. They can miss the obvious because their minds are elsewhere. These are your ideas people, okay? more of an inductive thinker. Sensates, concrete realists, stick to the facts, feet firmly planted on the ground, more of a practical focus, might miss the bigger picture for the details, but would say they have a firm grasp of reality, more of a deductive thinker. So most of your life, intuitive or sensate?
I have no idea.
You have no idea? Well, guess I'm going to give you a beautiful example. We got a picture to look at, right? When you look at that picture, do you see the details? Like, these are the fundamentals. Like, I'm naming the colors, I'm naming the dimensions. That's the picture, just the facts, ma'am. Or do you weave a story out of it? You're like, I get a sense about that. You're kind of reading between the lines. Or think X-Files, Fox and Mulder, pretty much any cop show. Are you the skeptic that needs kind of the reality? Hey, show me the facts. Are you the one like, I got a hunch about this, I'm going to go with that? And the other person's like reeling them in, pulling them back, saying, no. Where are the facts on this? So are you more kind of fact-based? Or do you like go with your hunches, your conceptions about things?
My conception.
Your conceptions. Okay, so you're like an imaginative, outside the box. If somebody basically gives you a paper clip, you're like, it's not just a paper clip, I'm going to use it for this, this, and that, right? Does that make sense? Or are you more like, this is one thing, that's what I'm going to use it for? Or you can find a lot of different uses.
Find different uses for
Okay,
this.
so you also kind of read between the lines, right? You see what's not being said. Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's an intuitive. That's a person that's into possibilities. A lot of times very future oriented. You know, you're an ideas person, right? You like to generate ideas. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's an intuitive. So we at least have that in place, okay? Next would be thinker or feeler. This is the way we make decisions. It's
Feeler.
kind of probably, right? But 80% of women are feelers, so, and that's not a bad thing, it's a beautiful thing. I'm a feeler, so I like that about me. But anyway, thinker or feeler. So thinkers think with their head, feelers with their heart. Thinkers tend toward logic, consistency of thought, probably more thick-skinned, not take things as personal, comfortable making critical evaluations, in general more fair or firm-minded than soft-hearted or sentimental. Feelers, soft-hearted, sentimental, might take things personal, more focused on harmony, people pleaser by nature, very aware of their values. Still feeler? Yeah? That's okay, it's not bad. We can be thin-skinned, we get our heart hurt sometimes, but you know, it's a beautiful thing. It's better to love and have lost, right? You're still opening your heart, right? Feeling, beautiful. And last is judging or perceiving. Not judgmental or perceptive, but judging as in judicial. So do you like things structured, organized, plan things out, want all your ducks in a row? Are you more kind of perceiver, spontaneous, go with the flow, fly by the seat of your pants, don't need all your ducks in a row?
I prefer things to be organized.
Organized, you can kind of have a plan, structured out. Okay. So what we have is intuitive, feeling, judging. That's Enfj. Okay. So now we got to figure out if you're Enfj, extrovert, or Infj, introvert. Okay. This should be fairly easy because now we're taking all the other letters and we're putting it with E or I, and you'll know right off the bat. Okay. Enfj, they call that the teacher of teachers. Okay, so they know how to grow others' potential. They're comfortable leading or following, but they can usually mimic. They make good actors too. They know how to kind of get into people's skin. And these are your sometimes spokespeople. They're your coaches. They basically uplift other spirits, high energy. You know, these are people-person communicators that are surprised when others lose them. You know, this is like a proverbial Tony Robbins or Oprah Winfrey. They just kind of know how to bring it out of people, you know. Infj, still a total people person, but a bit more subdued. This is the type that cannot not intuit. So they're very intuitive. This is like the natural counselor, very one-on-one. They know how to get into their own and others' skin, and sometimes they find out complex sides to themselves that surprise others and themselves. Essentially, this is a low-key kind of, they want to work for something they believe in, and they have a lot of integrity. They want things to be congruent with their inner values. Not saying that ENFJs aren't that way, but ENFJs, they are very extremely, they have that kind of a facility with taking on different roles when necessary. So they can essentially fit different roles and wear different masks if necessary, for better or worse. The INFJ, it's always like, who am I? I'm finding my truth to myself, and I'm going within to discover that. So this is kind of a very introspective personality. Like I said, it's like the type that cannot not intuit. There's almost a spiritual dynamic to them. Again, a lot of ENFJs are spiritual. A lot of them are preachers. But INFJ is kind of that low-key mystical thing. You might even feel like you have a connection to something of another world, like maybe talking or having a connection with loved ones that have passed, or or creating a dream journal and being very introspective. But it's very much within. The ENFJ, more kind of an engaging, outgoing. Does that make sense? I don't know. Does that help? Do you think you fit most of your life ENFJ? In that
not
context,
the
or
one that
INFJ?
talks to people that die.
Well, that's not the only thing. Okay, don't let that throw you. Essentially, an INFJ is very much like they toe the line with their principles. And it's very much like people feel that they can follow an INFJ and count on them for their word because they very much go with those inner values. The ENFJ, this is like the proverbial outgoing people person, making contacts, growing others' potential. Like I said, the teacher of teachers, whereas the INFJ, still in contact with people, would be more comfortable as a one-on-one, like a counselor. Does that make sense? If you have the choice between the two, for instance, do you see yourself in a role as a teacher, as a coach, as a someone engaged with a group? No. So INFJ, that's more kind of, you're. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't like groups. I mean,
the only thing that threw you was, speaking maybe to ghosts, right? You're like, no, even if I do that, I don't want all of you knowing that, okay? Take me seriously. Not that that's a bad thing. I totally believe in speaking to ghosts, But anyway, that threw you. But do you think in general then it's the type that cannot not intuit? That's like who you are. You're just an intuitive. You get a vibe off of things. You read the room well. Okay, I almost feel like I have a psychic connection to people or things. No, that's not fitting either, right?
The first part, but not the second part.
Not the second part. See, this is why she's a skeptic, because she really falls between two different things, and it might not. I'm wondering if it's even that, if she's even an NFJ, right, at this point. So, bear with me here. NF versus SJ. What does that mean? Sensate judging. Folks, since I've given this test to so many people, I see that sometimes people answer a certain way, and maybe not. Maybe they didn't understand exactly what I said. We're going to get to the bottom of this. That's why we're here. Okay. So a sensate judging, that is basically someone that they want to be a pillar of strength in society. They want to uphold the rules, values, laws, customs of the day, as long as they're fair, but they see themselves doing what the established thing has been, and they don't want to rock the boat. They want to continue in that pattern, doing what they know has supposedly worked. They trust their experiences, but this is somebody that doesn't necessarily want to rock the boat. An intuitive feeler, which would be an NFJ, either E or INFJ, which we've been discussing, this goes generally with the personal value. Something they felt, regardless of whether it's the law or the established rule, it's more with what is my personal value. And let's take two teachers. Very popular among teachers, the ESFJ and the ISFJ, especially grade school teachers, because you're doing the same thing day in, day out. It's a traditional thing. You're upholding those values. And ENFJ, on the other hand, they don't say, hey, you know what? Bobby's a bad kid. All the teachers say that. I'm going to look out for Bobby. The ENFJ is like, okay, what is it about Bobby that makes him tick? I'm going to find out about Bobby on a personal level, and I'm going to grow that potential where others may not, see that. I know it sounds like I'm bad-mouthing SJs. There are SJs out there that do this too. But in general, the ENFJ or the NF, they're going to empathize with Bobby.
That's me.
Does that make sense? Okay, so you are an NFJ. We're going to figure out, again, whether it's E or I. So let's put it this way. When I went to school, I learned something very valuable. I thought it was really cool, explaining extroverts and introverts. Okay, so an extrovert, they'll start off the day with a bag, and it's pretty much empty, metaphorically. And as they go throughout the day and interact with people, they're filling up that bag with energy. Mm-hmm. Okay. An introvert, they start out with a full bag. And as they interact with people, they're giving their energy away.
Oh, yeah, no.
Okay, so ENFJ. That's the first one I said. So basically, you get energy as you interact with people, right?
Yeah.
Because it's easy for you, right, to go and be sociable and these other things. You like that downtime. It helps you recharge, but more of a charge for you is interacting with others, having those new, unfamiliar situations where you're interacting, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love meeting new people.
Very cool. We got ourselves an ENFJ here, everybody. So ENFJ. I'm just going to throw this out there. You're not going to like it. There's good and bad with every single type. Okay, let's start with the good. Okay, Martin Luther King Jr. Great example of an ENFJ. Building others up, taking them under his wing. He has a vision and it's inspirational. ENFJs, you have this potential. I don't know if you've seen this in your own life. I'm assuming if you're truly ENFJ, you have been inspirational for others. Others feel like, oh my God, she is pushing us or she is motivating us and she has a vision. On the ENFJs, on the completely negative side, we have Hitler. But what did Hitler do, folks? Hitler looked at himself in the mirror. He modeled, actually, how he's going to react, how he's going to get people to buy his propaganda. Essentially, ENFJs know how to sell it. They know how to sell themselves, okay? Like I said, Tony Robbins knows something about that. I don't think he was nearly as confident as he is now. He's been through stuff, but he knows how to inspire others, okay? Oprah Winfrey, I mean, come on. This is the queen of talk shows, so she didn't get there without having that motivated vibe. So, is that something you can identify with? Can you say that, yeah, this is part of who I am, you know? Okay, because then I want to, I don't just give 3,500 people tests and say, okay, you know, mark it down, I got another one. No, I want to know that this resonates. Does this resonate with you? Mm-hmm. Okay. ENFJ. The theory is you're born an ENFJ. This is your learning style, okay? You're an extroverted feeler supported by your intuition, okay? You're a people person, proverbial, communicative people person. You need the world of people, all right?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Now we're going to discover which of the Enneagram types you are. Now this is really kind of intrinsic. If all of my personality, all 16 temperaments were like the ENFJ, I would not have given 3,500 people a test. Why? ENFJ is the one type out of the 16 that can be 8 of the 9 behaviors. I mean, which hat you going to wear? The INTP, practically its opposite, 80% of the time is that one type that ENFJ has never been. And I've given it to about 200 or so ENFJs, and they've never been the type 5, which is an isolated personality that, you know, not necessarily the people person, right? Well, we're going to find out which of the 8, because I'm 99.9% sure you're not a type 5, but we'll still go through that. We're going to find out which of the behaviors you are, and this has to do with your childhood origin. I'm not going to ask anything too personal, don't worry, but I'm going to give you 3 behaviors at a time. I want you to pick the one that fits you best. If you're not sure, at least eliminate the one you know does not fit. I'm guessing as an ENFJ, you're going to relate to a lot of them because that's just you fitting into the different skins, you know? Okay, so starting with type 1, okay? Type 1 is perfectionist. Needs to be right, do right, teach others to do the same. Has an internal critic, high standard of how they want things to be, and discipline themselves accordingly, okay?
Yes.
Type 2, helper, need to be needed, people pleaser, have trouble saying no, very nurturing, other-oriented, sometimes feel like martyrs giving a lot, not getting as much in return. And type 3, achiever, be all you can be type, someone image conscious, competitive, has to be the best and a winner, losing and failure are not options, very driven and goal-oriented. Most of your life, what would you say fits most? And if you're not sure, which one fits least at least?
Well, all of those are true.
All of them. Perfect. You know what? ENFJs, of course, have been all 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down one by one. We're going to go between types 1 and 2. Both tend to be helpful, but for very different reasons. So type 1s tend to help because it's the right thing to do, more for the sake of principles. Might come off as more serious in tone, maybe even preachy to some. So it's towing the line of that inner critic, that inner conscience, that inner voice. 2s are helpful because it's the nice thing to do, more because of that rapport, that give and take. They fit others like a glove. They feel very warm and comfortable. So it's more the kind of the heart value of interacting and being helpful. Type 1s could be feelers. 2. More 2? Okay, that was easy. Between 2 and 3, okay. So 2 and 3 tend to be kind of upbeat generally, okay. But and they're both in the heart triad, so they're somewhat image oriented, for better or worse. But type 2, are you tired or just more skeptical? No, just kidding. Type 2, basically, here's the difference. Type 2s, it's all about relationship. 2 is a perfect number for them because they see themselves in relation to other, okay? From a very young age, 2's got the message that they're good or okay if they sacrifice their own needs. So they had to be like little caretakers or felt that they had to give up their own desires and wants to be there for others. So likewise, throughout life, they tend to do that. And they wear themselves thin sometimes because they want to be that good, loving person they think of themselves as. 3, they got the message they're good or okay for being the best, going for the gold.
3.
Okay, there you go. Okay, so fits model, not to say that that's going to be the end result after all the 9, but, we're going to find out, of course. So 4, 5, 6 now. 4 is individualist, very much their own person, hate the flatness of ordinary things, somewhat emotionally intense. They want to find their true self, express themselves, feel unique, different, one of a kind, like it that way, kind of the artistic temperament. Type 5, the thinker, very cerebral, keep things closer to the chest, a bit more private, might come off as aloof, want to find their niche, less comfortable with the emotional underground, want to master a body of knowledge and or be competent. And type 6, loyalist, committed. When they do commit, they tend to question everything, including themselves. They worry about what can go wrong, who could be trusted, play the devil's advocate to flesh out the truth and seek safety and security.
4.
Which one? More 4? Perfect. 7, 8, 9. This is good and easy. I like that. Okay. 7, 8, 9. 7 is happy-go-lucky enthusiast. Life gives them lemons, they make lemonade. Peter Pan syndrome. Never want to grow up. Keep things light, happy, and fun. Avoid all that's limiting or boring. Seek the limitless horizon. 8 is challenger. Confrontational if necessary. Strongest appearing type. Resists their vulnerability or weakness. Have a soft side they show to very few people. Very protective of those they're in charge of. And type 9, peacemaker. Go with the flow. Hate conflict. See all sides of an issue.
9.
9. Okay, that was easy. 3, 4, 9. Here we go. Ready?
Okay.
We're narrowing it down here. Let's go between, let's do 4 and 9. Okay, both are kind of in their own world. Can be a little spacey at times. But with 4, they feel themselves to be different. Okay, they feel misunderstood. They feel special. Think Michael Jackson, Alanis Morissette, Dennis Rodman. Like, they all strike people as unique individuals, wouldn't you say? Like, these people are not run-of-the-mill, and they want you to know that. Because if they're like everybody else, that's like the biggest sin. It's like, no, I'm not. I got to be different. Okay? So sometimes they don't mind standing out. 9, on the other hand, they like their anonymity. They want things calm and relaxed. 4s want intensity. 4? Okay, very cool. So between 3 and 4, I think we have, this is interesting, I didn't tell you this, there are wings. So you'd be 3 with a 4 wing most likely, or 4 with a 3 wing. So we're going to find out which one's dominant.
Okay.
By the way, 3 with 4 and 4 with 3, you see them in this industry quite a bit. Modeling, acting, anything like this. Both are 2, 3, and 4 are all in the image triad. Okay, so this will be really interesting. 3 or 4. Okay, so basically big difference. Even though both of them want to stand out, 3s want to be that stellar kind of excellent thing that people look up to. Got to be like Michael Jordan, like I said earlier, Oprah Winfrey, she's a 3. Kobe Bryant, Tony Robbins, these are the be-all-you-can-be types. They motivate others. At their best, 3s are everything they seem to be. They're a paragon of excellence. At their worst, they become human doings. They don't know who they are apart from the masks or the roles that they're playing. Who's on the inside? I'm busy suspending my feelings. I don't really know what I feel on the inside, but I can schmooze you or pretend to be whatever feeling you need me to be because I want to win. It's that winning edge. I got to be a winner. And I've learned from a young age what it takes to be a winner, so I intuitively know what people want to see, so I could put on that charm or put on that mask to know what works. 4 is kind of diametrically opposite in that way because they want you to know what's authentic about them, for better or worse. And they might wear that even negativity that they suffer with, whether it's depression, like a badge of honor. Like, okay, that was easy. Okay. You're like, what's that? You are not going to see that darkness, okay?
No, that doesn't exist.
What's that?
It doesn't exist.
Oh, wow. If that's not a 3 statement. Okay. ENFJ type 3, my friends. What is this? Let me break it down percentage-wise. Okay, I said about 200 type ENFJs. Type 1 tends to be 10%, give or take, few percentage points. I would say 10 to 15% of ENFJs are type 1. Type 2 is what they fit most. It's like around 25%. So I'd say 20 to 30% of them easily are type 2. That's the giver. Okay. Type 3 would be the next strongest out of them. It would be about at least 15% of them tend to be type 3. So 15 to 20% probably type 3. 4s, just like the 1. 6 and 7 and 9 all like the type 1, about 10 to 15%. So across the board, they're pretty even. Type 8, a little less so. That's what Martin Luther King Jr. is. About 5 to 10% of ENFJs tend to be type 8. So types 2 and next would be type 3. So it does actually fit. This is Oprah Winfrey. This is Tony Robbins. These are ENFJ 3s. So they have a lot of potential to basically build themselves and others up to be everything you want to be. I mean, this is a good start for you at 23. You were living it. And that motivates me, because here I am, 42, and I just started, a month ago. So in front of the camera, even though I've always loved acting and all that stuff, to finally put myself out there, wow, type 3. My brother's a type 3. I love writing poems. Like 16, I was writing. He's like, dude, you got to sell this stuff. He's thinking, what can you do? How can you market yourself? So thank you. Honestly, you know what? And I got to tell you, you want to know your true astrological sign?
Let's hear it.
Regardless, I don't care what you were born as, because that might be bunk. Leo. ENFJ 3 is the proverbial Leo. This is the sunny disposition. This is, hey, you know what? On a negative, it could be all the world's a stage and I'm the one on it. So you better be freaking looking at me. But it's also a very warm, energetic, kind of encapsulating, enthusiastic energy that builds other people up. This is the energy of the sun. There's no bigger thing out there as far as what we're used to, right? So that is the biggest kind of thing. Even in all of our charts, the sun sign is the most potent. And you fit a Leo. So what may I ask is your actual?
I'm a Scorpio.
Okay, you know what? INFJ would totally fit Scorpio. ENFJ 3, not so much. But guess what? 10% of people's charts are your sun sign. So you're a sun sign Scorpio. There's going to be at least something that fits for Scorpios. Scorpios are very driven. Okay? When they have an idea in mind, they're going to freaking go for it. Okay? That fits type 3. Okay?
I don't take no for an answer.
You know what? But Scorpios are very, very introspective and very, very not only deep, they dig and dig and dig. Persistence, yes. But digging sometimes into the darkness, that's more of kind of a 4 thing. The type 4, which I mentioned, you're 3 and type 4, and you said not the 4, not kind of wearing this negativity as part of who you are. Scorpio would be more comfortable with that. Okay? Leo, not so much. Leo is, you know what? The world is grand, and I'm the world. And I'm going to show you my best side, right? My best side, whatever, This is what modeling is. You're going to show your best. Nothing wrong with that. That is awesome.
I always turn to...
What do you think? Did that fit for you, ENFJ 3? Does that make sense to you? Maybe. Are you a skeptic still, or do you did that resonate with you? Did I just not describe? Did I not describe who you are? As far as like being a type 3, outgoing, people person, motivated to win, get ahead. Is that not who you are?
That is me.
Okay, come on, admit it. It's not a bad thing. Own that. Own that stuff. Okay, so ENFJ type 3, Leo. Being in the spotlight, modeling, that's the sun on you. Would you agree?
Yes.
So, is that accurate?
Yeah.
It's okay to say that I'm accurate. It's not like I won. You're still a winner, okay? You're type 3. I know you want to be a winner. You win, okay? Because you're on here doing your stuff, plugging your things, and you're helping me out. That motivates me, and we're helping each other. That is a wonderful thing. This is not a competition. I know earlier on, But you guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you had a good time.
I did.
Okay,
Thank you.
Brittany, thank you so much for being here.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Of course. I really, really appreciate it. Everybody, thank you for joining me today. Kirk, your personality expert. Make sure that you like and subscribe. And in our next episode, join me because I'm going to teach you, my awesome audience, how to do your own personality breakdown. So stay tuned. This is Kirk Erickson, your personality expert.